So let's take a look at the capstone presentation. The capstone presentation is an important piece, obviously, for your capstone project. And I have some very specific demands that you're going to need to meet. Actually, it's for the presentation itself in order to be able to do this. And meeting these and being able to do this is something that's going to leverage for the rest of your life. So trust me when I tell you, these are elements to a good presentation. And remember that the presentation is ultimately not about you, it's about your audience. It's about you being the star of your show, but you're the star of your show communicating to an audience. So when you remember that, here's the things to look at. The first thing you're going to want to look at is your introduction. Your introduction needs to be focused. And you see there's two examples here, right? And one of them is this guy right here. And this guy right here is kind of, unfocused. There's all kinds of ugliness in there. And then you get over to the other side and you see this guy who's got one graphic and he's pointing directly towards it. So there's a whole thing that you got to look at in here, being focused and being succinct and not doing what I call death by PowerPoint. Avoid that slide with all your heart. Now, the next thing to take a look at is your analysis. And as you see in the lower left-hand corner, I'm building you this little pie, right? The pie piece for the analysis is fully a quarter of the pie. It's huge. So how you break down your ideas and tell us what you've learned is fully 25% of what's there. So the other thing to remember about your analysis is that you're putting your ideas from your brain onto the paper, and then they have to flow from idea to idea to idea. Make sure that there's a natural flow to the whole thing. Now, the next thing you want to look at is your organization. And that next pie piece that comes in, you see there's an organization to this bookshelf. And this bookshelf you see is organizing things by color. That's one way to organize it. I'm not going to tell you how to organize your presentation, but you're going to want to organize it fairly well. And as you can see, that's a significant piece of the pie. Aesthetics. Aesthetics is the way we recognize beauty and beauty in nature, beauty in things. So the aesthetics of it needs to be visually engaging. And that becomes a very important piece as you rock your way through this presentation. As you can see from the green slice, by the way, you'll notice that it's almost as big as the red slice. It's a big deal. All right. The next thing is your speaking. There has to be evidence of practice. You can probably hear already in my voice that I've been running this a few times. In fact, I think this is take number 7 for me in terms of doing this. And there's clear evidence that I've already done this. And so you don't want to be like this guy on the right who's kind of like confused and doesn't know which end is up. You want to be like the guy on the left. So let's make sure that we are like the guy right here who knows what he's doing. He's a very good public speaker, and avoid being like the guy on the right who's a little bit lost and confused and didn't do his homework. Now, the next one is body language. Body language is hugely important because body language will determine your presence, your charisma, the way you interact with your audience. And without even meaning to, you get into some bad habits. So be conscious of standing up straight. Be conscious of an open, powerful stance on things. Be conscious that you are communicating to an audience. And so that becomes a very important piece. So avoid a lot of these negative behaviors in the corner of looking away, fanning yourself, fidgety habits, and be strong, be present. 15 minutes out of your life, be totally focused on your audience. And then your conclusion then becomes important. How you, at the end of this, say, as based on all of this, you take all your different lines and they lead to one point about why animals are abused and how to prevent it, or how to help the homeless, or how to get health care for undocumented Americans, or things like that. So just as if you look at this image, you see the lines of the arrows coming into center and the shadows all coming in at the center. I want you to think in terms of one way to really hit that bullseye when you get to the end of that. That's what we want to see right here. And the last thing that's going to happen is we're going to open the floor to questions. And I want you to look, there's 2 ways of handling questions. If you look in the upper left, we've got an image of a woman who's really having a discussion. She's having a little fun. She's playing a little bit with the board. She's got charisma. She's got presence. She's engaging with her audience. The person on the left, it kind of looks like they're being accused of something and they're under interrogation. I want you to look at things like this lady on the right and not like this gentleman on the left. I want you to realize that the question and answer is your chance to kind of get comfortable, get easy with your audience, and engage them with what's going on. So you will have to face 2 or 3 questions. You won't know what they are. They're going to be improvised by your panel and improvised by me. Once you put all of those together, that's how you're going to be graded. And I'll pull my little face out of the way here to help you see it. You'll see that the analysis is the outlier, the red dot is a big deal. It's 24%. The rest of these are between 8 and 16%. So these all matter. For you to get a strong grade on this, you're going to want to not let anything go. Pay attention to all the details. Watch this slideshow a couple of times. I'll make the slideshow available to you so you can have an idea of what it is you want to accomplish with your capstone. I wish you the best of luck. Have fun with it. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.